Hi, this is Aaron Chubb with the Student Success Center at the University of Lethbridge. I'm a learning strategist. One of the things I often do is refer students over to the Writing Center, and so today I'm joined by Rebecca Eckert of the Writing Center. Rebecca, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Rebecca, what is it that the Writing Center mostly helps students with?
We do one-on-one work with students so that we engage them at whatever stage of the project that they're at. If they have a writing assignment, they've never written a paper before, we'll begin with them at the very earliest stages. If they're an advanced graduate student, almost done that final thesis, we can work with them to just polish off the edges.
Oh, great. So you'd work on the whole thesis or on a chapter with a graduate student?
We'd work one-on-one for an hour. So whatever the graduate student or the undergraduate student wants to work on, we'll work on that with them. And oftentimes students will have a sense of what issues they struggle with. You know, maybe their grammar isn't the greatest and so they're a little uncertain. Or maybe they're really wrestling with finding sources and integrating them. Whatever it is, we can work on it.
Amongst the undergraduate student population, what would you say is one of the biggest issues that you see in undergraduate academic writing?
I think there's a sense of not really being prepared for the university audience. So they're thinking more in terms of high school reacting to ideas and issues. So they want to write persuasive papers. They don't want to write papers that are based on a scholarly foundation, and they're not quite sure how to work with sources so that, you know, we're really talking about ideas and evidence-based concepts. So we have to really build that into our writing, and students are a little uncertain about that.
Just how to cite or about the whole process of what?
The whole process, and I actually have a small illustration here. So you can see I've got here a variety of people, and this is the newcomer, this is the student. And what happens is that we usually come out with something that we're all interested in talking about. And what occurs is that the student tends to think, hey, this is me, I should just give my opinion. And so they kind of ignore what other people are saying. What they really need to do is find a way to say, look, these person here and here and here and here, they've already done a lot of work on this. So how do I include their perspectives? How do I honor that? How do I cite that? So it can be something as basic as applying some of our citation systems. We've got MLA and APA are common styles, but it can also be about, how do we trace that conversation? How do we help people see that this is about a community of scholars working together to try to discover truth rather than all of us individually just with our own opinions?
I know when I was an undergraduate, I wanted to get my own opinion in there, and I was worried about bringing in other people's opinions in feeling that I would be doing something unoriginal. But how does bringing in other references, how does that strengthen a paper?
It helps because it provides the full background necessary. So you're not the first person in the world usually to think of a topic. And so you look at what other people have done. What have they already learned? What do we already know? What usually happens then is that there's like a tiny little hole there. Nobody's ever addressed that point before. Maybe nobody's ever thought about how to work with a certain community in Lethbridge, Alberta before. And then you contribute that. And then, wow, you've contributed knowledge. You've helped to build that scholarly community.
Great. Well, thank you. That really puts things into perspective. Thanks, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
Okay, for Go, I'm Aaron Chubb.